There is something undeniably fascinating about fandoms, a phenomenon that transcends geography, culture, and language. In the case of BTS, the world's biggest boy band, the fandom known as ARMY has become a cultural force unlike any other. The documentary BTS ARMY, Forever We Are Young attempts to capture and rectify the often misunderstood portrayal of fan culture, presenting a vivid and affectionate portrait of millions of people united under a shared devotion. While the word fandom can sometimes carry a cringeworthy or dismissive undertone, this film seeks to redefine it, showing that fandom is not simply about obsession but about community, resilience, and global connection. Unlike many documentaries that reduce fans to caricatures screaming teenagers at airports, waving banners, or rushing stages, Forever We Are Young takes a different approach. Directed by Grace Lee and Patty Yen, the film focuses on the sincerity and intensity of ARMY's affection, their single-minded devotion, and the way their lives have been intertwined. With BTS's journey, it's not about sensationalism, but about truth. Through more than a dozen fan interviews and previously unseen archival footage, the film highlights how BTS's music and message have shaped individual lives. From moments of personal hardship to global milestones, it is a buoyant celebration, but also a careful rectification of what it means to be a fan in the 21st century. The film shines by centering ARMY, the fans themselves, rather than solely spotlighting the group. This perspective shift is crucial. Too often, fans are portrayed as background noise, mere extras in the rise of their idols. But here, their stories matter. ARMY interviewees recount their journeys with palpable enthusiasm, memories of first concerts, the struggles of supporting BTS during their underdog years, and the deep friendships that blossomed within the community. One fan recalls attending a free BTS showcase in Los Angeles back in 2014. When the group was virtually unknown in the US, the venue held barely 100 people. From those humble beginnings, ARMY has watched BTS grow into global superstars, and the fans feel pride knowing they were part of that, a solace in BTS's music while battling depression. Now affectionately called the BTS Lady to kids in small towns who choreograph dances with their friends, the stories illustrate that ARMY is a global mosaic of shared humanity. The film also touches on the remarkable ways ARMY has influenced the wider world. In 2020, during a highly politicized moment in US history, fans trended headlines after reserving tickets for Donald Trump's rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma, only to deliberately leave seats empty, creating a striking visual of protest. Beyond politics, ARMY has used its collective voice to amplify social causes, fund charities, and defend their idols against xenophobia and racism. The documentary explores these campaigns vividly, showing that fandom can be both playful and deeply impactful. What distinguishes Forever We Are Young is its balance of joy and critique. It does not shy away from acknowledging challenges within fan culture. Toxicity in online spaces is mentioned, though the film quickly pivots back to the resilience and creativity of ARMY. Some may wish for a deeper exploration of how ARMY compares to other fandoms or how it might share the same pitfalls. Yet even without exhaustive analysis, the film succeeds as an affectionate portrait, warm, persuasive, and emotionally stirring. Visually, the documentary reinforces the scale of this phenomenon. Stadiums filled with tens of thousands of glowing ARMY bombs, light sticks held by fans become seas of purple, spelling out love messages like BTS ARMY. These images capture not only devotion but a sense of belonging that transcends borders. Every concert becomes both a personal and collective experience, where fans feel connected not just to BTS but to each other. At its heart, Forever We Are Young argues that BTS's meteoric rise was not a product of slick marketing alone, but of organic growth nurtured by a devoted fanbase. It's a reminder that fandom is not passive consumption, it is active, creative participation. Fans create art, run streaming projects, translate lyrics, organize global charity drives, and dedicate countless hours to ensuring BTS's message reaches wider audiences. In doing so, ARMY has transformed from a fan club into a cultural movement. Yet, the film leaves viewers with a poignant question: what happens when utopia fades? Once underdogs become reigning champions, the allure shifts. The dynamic between artist and fan inevitably evolves. The documentary doesn't fully answer whether this love can endure beyond the peak of BTS's fame, but it leaves a question lingering. Perhaps that uncertainty is part of the magic, love so intense that it risks fragility, yet powerful enough to transform those who experience it. For fans, this film is a gift, a recognition of their labor, their passion, and their love. For outsiders, it's an invitation to look deeper, to see beyond stereotypes of screaming teenagers, and instead witness the profound human connections that define this fandom. Forever We Are Young rectifies the narrative, showing ARMY as more than fans, they are storytellers. Activists, dreamers, and believers dot as the lights dim and the credits roll. One thing becomes clear. BTS and ARMY are not just artists and fandom. They are partners in a global journey, forever young, forever changing, and forever leaving a mark on the world of music and culture. Asterisk and yet, perhaps the great reframes fandom as a collective act of resilience, especially in a world often fractured by division. The film reminds us that the love between BTS and ARMY is not a one-sided relationship. The group has consistently acknowledged their fans, dedicating awards to them, weaving fan stories into their music, and building a community rooted in sincerity. This reciprocity, rarely seen in the entertainment industry at such scale, is what transforms ARMY from a fanbase into a family. One touching moment in the documentary shows how ARMY members describe BTS as companions, during moments of solitude, as guides through personal struggles, and as inspirations to pursue dreams that once felt unreachable. To hear fans articulate this bond so vulnerably is to understand that BTS is more than a band, they are, for many, a lifeline. The power of ARMY extends far beyond music charts and streaming records. In today's digital world, their online coordination demonstrates unprecedented influence. From trending hashtags within minutes to organizing massive fundraising efforts for humanitarian causes, ARMY exemplifies how fandom can evolve into a force for social good. The documentary showcases examples where fans collectively raised millions for disaster relief, education funds, and racial justice initiatives. These actions complicate the shallow image of fans as mere consumers and reframe them as a mobilized global community capable of shaping discourse and delivering real impact. What makes these stories compelling is the diversity of voices. Fans from Mexico speak of choreographing dances in community centers, bringing BTS's art to life on a local stage. Others in Europe recount organizing streaming parties in small apartments, turning private listening sessions into global movements. A woman in South America describes how BTS's words carried her through a time of grief, while a young man in Southeast Asia recalls finding the courage to come out to his family after hearing BTS speak of self-love and authenticity. These testimonies underline a key theme. ARMY is not uniform, but united. Across languages, cultures, and generations, the fandom thrives on inclusivity.